everybody. Welcome to the West Des Moines Chamber of Commerce's CEO Insight series. My name is Catherine Harrington, proud president and CEO, and I'm so excited about today's interview. We are talking to two incredible leaders in our community that I adore dearly. We have Maria Davis, who is vice president of brokerage with R&R Realty, and Adam Kaduce, president of R&R Realty. So thank you. We've got double time, double the fun today. So I'm so happy that you're here today. So thank you all for coming. So R&R Realty, an incredible company in our region, the state. I know you have a couple offices, one in West Des Moines, Omaha as well. You were founded in 1985. You have 6 divisions. So tell us about R&R and all of your divisions. Let's start with how'd you get founded, actually? I hear you're a family business, right? So tell us about how you got your start.
Yeah, still very much a family business. So Dan and Phyllis Ruprecht started R&R 40 years ago. In fact, this year we just celebrated our 40th anniversary, and during 2025 we're going to be doing 40th anniversary events throughout the year. May have seen our signs all have our new 40th anniversary logo on them. Yep. So we'll be rolling that out throughout the year. Dan actually was a math teacher by trade in rural Nebraska. Wanted to pursue a different career, make a better living for his family, so came to work for Principal Financial Group. It wasn't called Principal back then, but moved his family from Nebraska to Des Moines, and really at Principal helped them build out a real estate department. Real estate paired really well with their life insurance business, and so Principal would do these joint ventures across the country to earn returns to be able to pay out life insurance. And after doing that for a while, really came to the conclusion that he could do that, and really built a lot of expertise around the real estate business and the development business. And so went out on his own, him and Phyllis, and started R&R Realty Group. And that was 40 years ago, and they really have built the business into a full-scale real estate company. So really from site searches and finding ground, and a lot of times we'll buy farm ground and ultimately develop it to become office and industrial parks. And then we own and manage those for the long term. So for instance, our development on Jordan Creek Parkway, when we bought that ground just south of the interstate and I-80 and Jordan Creek Parkway, that was a dairy farm. It was a 2-lane gravel road that today now we know is Jordan Creek Parkway, probably one of the most recognizable addresses in the state at least, and has about 1.5 million square feet of office space. So that's always our MO, is to come in early, help find locations that we think are going to be great office or industrial locations, and then we'll come in, design, build, lease, and then manage those properties for the long term, and help not only put a mark on the community by transforming it, but also find other ways through the chamber and different community organizations to stay involved.
And then I was going to say, fast forward to today, we're the largest landlord in the state with over 10 million square feet of inventory. And we specialize across industrial, flex, land, retail, and office. So we hit on all of the industries in the commercial real estate market. And then we consider ourselves to be the expert in full service. So we have property management, IT, design, which can help you lay out your space if you don't have a vision for it. We have a construction arm. We have legal services.
Yeah, I mean, really everything. We hit on every piece of it, from site selection to then managing commercial real estate for the long term.
Yes.
And everything in between.
And apartments as well, I think.
And apartments.
Okay.
Yeah, we have about 1,000 apartments.
Okay.
Two developments which are in West Des Moines.
Okay.
We would be a small apartment developer. In the overall scheme of development, you see owners that own tens of thousands of units. We have just over 1,000, but that area is a great diversification for us, and we have ground to continue to do more multifamily development. Mm-hmm. And it's a great way to stay connected to the community too. It's we not only do we put a roof over people's jobs, but in our multifamily we also put a roof over their homes too.
Yeah, really tying in that, put people where they're working. So we're providing the space for recruitment and retention, then also providing a house or a home in the apartment industry. And most of our apartments are on bus lines and providing transportation. in and out to your workforce. So it's pretty cool.
Which is huge. The mayor just spoke at our Civic Connect event on Friday recently, and he was saying how the need for housing is really huge in our area. So you're really helping to solve for that, it sounds like. Is that a growth area for you all then too? Are you imagining that? Okay.
Yeah. We have land in Urbandale, which is zoned multifamily, and of course it's a big, it's doing so well, multifamily is in housing, that we have a lot of people calling daily to purchase that land, and we won't sell it. We'll hold on to it and develop it at some point.
Nice. Oh, well, I love the founder story. And Principal still has a very thriving real estate business, as we know, and I know Maria probably knows a lot of those folks with Crew, your involvement in Crew, and such. So that's really, what a neat origin story for R&R. That's phenomenal. So how many employees do you have now at R&R?
Gosh, 140-ish?
Okay,
I would say so.
So huge, yeah. Okay.
Pretty big.
And most of that's here. We're headquartered in West Des Moines.
Yes.
Most of that is here in West Des Moines.
Okay.
We do have an office in Omaha, as you mentioned. Maybe we call that West Des Moines.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
west of
Let's
West Des
do it.
Moines
Okay.
in Omaha. We have an office over
Okay.
there too, and we've
Yeah.
done quite a bit of industrial development over there,
Okay.
although we have an office building and we've acquired a couple of office buildings and have room to do more office development.
Okay.
But have a team out there that represents that market and does a good job of being boots on the ground. But all the support services, legal, accounting, marketing, we do all of that from here in West Des Moines.
From here, okay, love that. So tell us about the trends that you see in the market. You obviously handle everything in this space, the real estate space. So what are some top trends you're seeing? It's 2025, things are changing as well. So tell us anything you know that could be helpful for us. So.
I mean, I would say that office space is making a comeback in the sense that you saw a lot of work from home, and that really isn't working. And so you're seeing offices and leaders requiring or encouraging their teams to come back into the office, but it looks a little different. It's a little smaller. So you might have had 10,000 square feet before 2025. As your lease comes up on renewal, you want to retain your employees and you want to give them that environment where the work from home is maybe melding in with your office space. So we're building amenities into our properties. We always have built amenities. We were probably the first in the industry to have such high level amenities in our spaces. But we're seeing renewals come back with flight to quality. So you're coming back into the office and taking a smaller square footage, but improving that space. So your dollars, instead of going towards 10,000 square feet in rent, might go towards 5,000 square feet, but then you're investing a lot of money into that space, providing fitness centers, coffee kiosks, collaboration areas that are really cool and inviting. Instead of going to a coffee store, you're going to come into your office and sit and do work with your coworkers and collaborate. So we're seeing a lot of those trends.
Yep, and I never mentioned childcare too.
For sure.
I think one of the things during COVID, when everybody was at home doing Zoom school and Zoom work, people really got connected and wanted to be closer to their kids. And so we continue to see people wanting childcare. First, just access to it, right? Or spots available. And then secondly, the closer you can make it, the better. So people can pop down on a lunch hour or walk across the street and check in on the kids. And people really like to do that. So we've seen a big push for more of that too, which has been good. And I think too, one thing Maria and I see when we work with customers is, especially if they're on a hybrid schedule and they have everybody back certain days of the week, those days get to be really heavy meetings and collaboration. So maybe instead of everybody having an office or a desk, they're moving to more collaborative seating. Even spaces like we're sitting in today, having that more soft seating, more collaborative type approach. So even working with companies on reconfiguring their space and bringing in some new and modern furniture. Not every meeting needs a conference room, but it does need a place where people can sit and collaborate. So helping people through that decision too has been big. And just the way they're using their space and what their space looks like has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's so interesting. I remember back in the day, this was 20 years ago when we did the ribbon cutting or unveiling for ITA Group's beautiful office in Regency.
Right.
And I remember being there and everybody was just aghast with, oh my God, look at these walls. They have murals on the walls and, you know, all the really cool interactive feel-good elements that you brought to that space. And then now, tell us about their space now, which you helped them with. So I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, they're in the Wells Fargo Card Services building that was 30 years old, and the lease came up, the 30-year lease came up, and they weren't renewing. As everybody knows, they built a campus right out here in West Des Moines, and so they're trying to bring their employees into that campus. So that provided us our 30-year-old building back in inventory. So we have such amazing thought leaders in our company, such as Dan Ruprecht and our design team, that came forward and said, what are the design trends that we can put into this building, and how do we multi-tenant it? And probably a lot of people don't know that buildings that were made for one user, to multi-tenant it, you have to put a lot of infrastructure and investment into it, because you're building hallways and you're dividing them, and then you're reworking fire and code and sprinklers and elevators. And so it's a huge investment. And then how do we make it look pretty and inviting for recruitment and retention again? So ITA was one of the first. We stained the outside of it, made it white instead of red, traditional 30-year-old brick. And then we went inside and made the interior with like foosball table, pool table, coffee, conference, multi-purpose room, fitness, state-of-the-art fitness center with shower and locker rooms.
Pickleball?
What else?
Yes.
Pickleball courts. Let's talk
everybody
about
wants to play
that.
Pickleball now, that's the big thing, right?
Well, Marina's right. The indoor amenities, I mean, the training center she mentioned seats 100 people. You know, we used to put those in at maybe 30 or 40 people, and now companies are saying we want more of that space, larger space, more flexible space. And then, Maria, the outdoor area is just
I'm glad you
stunning.
brought that up.
So that with Wells Fargo, they were running multiple shifts out of the building, so they needed about double the parking you would need today.
Right.
So we actually reclaimed 4.5 acres of outdoor green space, turned it from parking lot back into green space.
Ooh, that's a great story.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's over 1 mile of walking trails on site. It's connected to the West Des Moines bike trail. And then we came in with 2 pickleball courts and just a whole variety of outdoor seating areas. So you can go sit and work on your laptop. You can take a small meeting. You can do a walking meeting. And then the thought leaders at ITA Group are very intentional, and that could be its own separate podcast just on the intentionality they put into their space, because they really did do this with a full heart for their people. And one of the things that was important was doing something outdoors, and so it's called Utopia Park. It's a shipping container. It's repurposed shipping containers. It's a full outdoor kitchen, putting greens, fire pits. It's a place where they could have an all hands event with all of their team from all over the country. Or it's a spot where a single person can go out and sit and work, and they can do it any size in between. And they were very forward thinking with that, and did a really, really nice job of thinking through how they would use that space. And so it's great. We were there when they first opened, and their first couple of weeks in the building, it was like the first day of school. Everybody's walking around, kind of bright-eyed. What is all this?
You did a ribbon cutting. It was huge.
And
One of our largest.
So many people there.
So many people.
What a marquee event, and an opportunity to showcase this to the community, because it had been under construction. And prior to that, it didn't look the same, but it was also a very secure facility for them. So most people had never been in this building. So it was really fun to get to debut it to the public and bring in the business community.
And just to let you know, occupancy is like at 75% there
already. That happens so fast.
So fast.
Okay.
So it's great.
You want to mention who the other?
Yeah, we have Excel Group, which is in West Des Moines, and so they are moving from another location about a mile down the road into it. And then we have Holmes Murphy that's taking a large, and we're thrilled. So as of today, we have those 3 tenants, ITA, the Excel Group, and Holmes Murphy. And obviously we're negotiating on with only a small portion. How much? 50,000 square feet left?
Probably a little
40?
less, probably right around 40 to 50,000 square feet less. And
it's a fear of loss almost.
Yep, and it can fit a variety of user size. So I think we're going to have some opportunities to work with some, you have some premier employers that took very big footprints. I think we have some opportunities to work with some premier employers that need a little bit smaller space.
1,500, 2,000 square feet potentially.
Yeah, I love the options, that different options. Is there another building you want to highlight today that you're like, we have more occupancy that you want to spotlight for our audience?
You know, our Country Club Office Park right out here in West Des Moines is a little over 1 million square feet, 16 buildings, 17 including Arcadia, and it's, again, our occupancy is about 85%. We do very well out here. The businesses want to be in West Des Moines, want to be off Jordan Creek Parkway. We have restaurants and shopping and daycare, as you mentioned, interstate access, freeway access. So it's really a great location to do business out of.
Yeah. Oh, I just think there's something there for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got and very different price points too. Some businesses want to really go for the best of the best in terms of office space, but we also have lower priced buildings where you can still get the access and the amenities, but you can get it at a lower price point. We have some highly efficient single story buildings that have great visibility on the interstate. We have some multi-story buildings, and then of course we have our Westfield and our Arcadia buildings that are really those premier trophy type buildings. So Maria's right; it really offers
something for everybody.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah.
We're seeing a trend in all over the country, actually, in counseling firms and mental health. And the advantage of our single story buildings are that you can come right in and access your office space right off the parking lot. So you don't have to go into a multi-story building and go upstairs to see a counselor. And same with medical. And I think having those single story buildings with direct access off the parking lot has been a big need in our community that we're fulfilling.
That's interesting. Yeah, to think about that, why that's important for somebody. So let's talk about the community. You're both highly involved in the community in a lot of different ways. Maria's on our executive board. Thank you so much. You're investors in the chamber. You're both chamber champions. So tell us more about community involvement and why that's important to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think community involvement starts with Adam and I internally. You're born and raised knowing that you have to contribute to the community to make our community a better place to raise your family, grow, work, play, live. And so it's very near and dear to our hearts, but it also is very important to R&R Realty. So I sit on the West Des Moines Chamber Board, and I'm on the executive board, as you mentioned, this year, which is I love. And then I'm on planning and zoning. And then Catherine, you and I had an opportunity to fundraise for the Athene Raccoon River Bridge, pedestrian bridge, which is beautiful in our community. And then I'm on CREW, Commercial Real Estate Women. I've been involved in that. R&R, yes, requested that I be involved in that. And it's been an amazing, I guess, nonprofit to be involved in. And then Adam.
I just have to compliment you, Maria. I think, when we first met, you told me, you said, I'm really intentional about my community involvement. And I only have 3 or 4 things that I choose to be involved with at one time. And if something else comes up, I give up something and I manage that. And I took that to heart. I think that's an important lesson about that you can do a whole bunch of things, probably not very well, or you can pick a few things and do them really, really well. And I think you've always managed to find really high quality places to be involved and then really pour your heart into them. So,
thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
I think, I've watched you do that and transform and evolve. And no, that comes from the heart too. You're 100% right. And Maria would probably gets tired of hearing me say this at the office, but I think you've got to be the change you want to be. And so if I think our community, if I want a certain thing to happen in our community, I've got to get involved and do those things. And if you don't, then I don't think, you can complain, but it doesn't go very far, right? So no, I've enjoyed a lot of different opportunities to be involved. Drake University is where I went to school. I'm a very, very proud Bulldog, so I get to serve on the College of Business Board. I get to involve with some leadership programming there at Drake. And as much as I love West Des Moines, I always say West Des Moines is my work hometown. Urbandale's my hometown where I grew up, and so I've had the opportunity to fill in on the city council. I've been on our community foundation for Urbandale, done some economic development work there too, and then I just go to a lot of events. I think that's one of the most fun, enjoyable ways to be involved in our community, whether it's a business record event, a chamber event. I just try and go to as much of that as I can, and that really is fun. And you build a lot of friendships that way, and you see a lot of similar people at those events. But then you're always welcoming new people too, and so I remember when I would first go to those events, the number of people that would come up and welcome me and introduce themselves. And so it's always fun to go to those events and try and do the same thing.
Yeah, you're the one
Yeah.
doing that now.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, Adam's an amazing
Yeah.
mentor, as you
No.
both know, everyone knows. Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
This has been really informative, so interesting too, and just thank you for all that you do to support our community, our region, and all that you do for others as they find great spaces to live, work, and play, and also be with their families more. My gosh, I love the daycare story too. That's so cool. So
and thank you to the chamber on what you do for our community. I mean, you've taken this to the next level. We spent a lot of years working together personally, and just to see you really take our community to the next level has been incredible. And I'm so happy we are so happy to be supporters and be part of it.
Thank you. It takes hundreds and hundreds of volunteers like you all to make a community great. So just thank you for what you do, and thank you, Maria. Thank you. And I want to shout out a special thanks to the man behind the camera, Tom Florian. He's over there blushing right now, but Tom is the one that makes us look so good.
Yes.
And I need to recognize you in every one of these. So thank you, Tom, for making us look great and making the CEO profiles. We do a lot of them each year. We did 12 last year, and we have a lot of great viewership on these. So thank you, Tom. So thank you to R&R Realty. Thank you, Maria and Adam. And we wish you the best. 2025 is going to be a great year. And guess what? The West is yet to come. So thank you, everybody, for joining us.